got quite a good number of people who've joined us. So welcome to the College of Medicine and Public Health orientation for the Bachelor of Medical Science degree. My name is Vula Gaganis, and I'd like to welcome all of our students to the beginning of the 2022 academic year. Welcome also to our academic team and our peer mentors who are here to support and meet you today. So myself and Dr. Helen Harrison will be running orientation today, and so you'll get to hear from both of us first up, and I'll let you know what our agenda looks like very soon. But please do feel free as we're going through to use the chat function in Collaborate to communicate with us and ask us any questions, and we can address those when we come into the breakout rooms a bit later on. So before I continue on, can I just make sure that you can all hear me okay? And also that you can see my screen okay. Excellent, great. Good to see you guys. Thank you. Awad, did you have a question? Not just yet. Beautiful, thank you. Okay, that's so great. Okay, so as I mentioned, my name is Vula Gaganis, and I'm the course coordinator for the medical science degree. So a formal congratulations to you all on your admission to the medical science degree. You are part of a wonderful and important degree program. Now, we have of course started under unusual circumstances with our orientation operating remotely, though you will no doubt have many opportunities to attend campus in person during orientation, maybe later this week, or some of our teaching sessions as the semester kickstarts next week. Now, just a little bit of background, and you won't hear too much more on this from me, but just wanted to let you know where I see your degree. And I see that medical science has never been more visible in our lives than over the last 2 years, where we've had some major disruption. We've seen medical scientists actually working together locally and globally to discover vaccines for COVID, which has been absolutely remarkable. And the people who are doing this are medical scientists, the very people who you are going to graduate into and be employed as. And this is medical scientists in research labs, in diagnostic labs, advising government, all working together for the common good, which is to protect our community. So as a teaching team, we all hope that in a few years' time, and you'll see that the years will fly by, that you'll have your medical science degree in hand and you'll be equipped with the critical skills and that desire for knowledge to face the challenges of tomorrow, whatever they may be. Now, this course will provide you not only with a great university experience. We are situated on beautiful Bedford Park, and for those of us who are unable to join us, we hope you're able to join us soon. But you'll also get a set of expertise to put you on a great trajectory to care for our local and our global community and make a difference. So a very big welcome to you all. Now, before I start going through the details of the course, I'd like to acknowledge and pay respect to the traditional custodians of the land upon which we meet, and we would also like to acknowledge and pay respect to the elders of the land, both past and present. So our agenda this morning, of course, starting with me, giving you a welcome orientation and course overview. And after this overview, you'll hear from, Dr. Helen Harrison, our Deputy and First Year Level Course Coordinator, and also our Peer Mentor Program Coordinator, followed by our important services and several key student societies. We have a couple of pre-recorded presentations that I'll play for you, and we also have a couple of handouts which Helen and I will make available on our Bachelor of Medical Science course flow page. Okay, so first things first, let's get you started with making the most out of orientation, this week being our very fun and important orientation week. So Flinders now offers an extended orientation program which actually covers 4 weeks. I'm not sure if you're all aware. So we're all in O week this week. from the 21st to the 25th. And then we've got Connect Week, Wellbeing Week, and Skills Week. And it's spread out to help you settle into university life by giving you lots of information, but not all at once, but giving you the information when you need it, and hopefully not too overwhelming for you. Now, it's also designed to help you make new friends, learn about support services available to help you succeed at uni life. So please don't delay. If you haven't checked this out already, we've got the website listed down here. Have a look at all the different resources and events that are happening. So we have an online welcome hub with students, current students, and our own Flinders staff who are available to connect and answer any of your questions. So you can either drop in to their online area and ask anything, or you can join via the orientation planner and you can chat with current students and our own academics. So on the orientation website, you'll notice that we have an orientation planner, and this is for you to use to create your personalised schedule of events and activities. So for semester 1, there's some events and activities, but mostly they will be online because of the COVID situation at the moment. So please do hop on and create your own orientation planner if you haven't done so already. And we also have an orientation video library, and this is basically so you can brush up on some of the academic skills and general knowledge that uni life kind of requires you to have so you can get around. And a lot of the time when I speak with first year students, there's, I guess, some of those transitional things that people need to do, which is understanding our learning management system, which is called Flow, Flinders Learning Online, or understanding what the assignments look like. Where do you find out about, you know, things like your assessments? What do the grades mean? How can you best study for exams? All of that kind of thing can be found on the orientation video library, which you can access at any time whenever you're available, and go through it in your own time and pace it the way that you need it to. So this will help you manage through uni life. So it's a good time now in orientation where you haven't started your topics officially. They're going to start obviously next week, and you can get on top of some of those things, especially Flow. I definitely recommend that one there. Okay, so that's orientation week sorted. What about your essentials and what are you going to need? Well, absolutely you need your student ID card, and this is going to be something that you shouldn't wait until next week to get sorted. This is something that you can do, or some of you might already be really well organised, and if you're here with us on campus, you're going to need your student ID card. It's going to be needed for you to do things like borrowing things from the library, if you're going to be sitting any exams, if you need to do printing. But especially for our Bachelor of Medical Science students, we have a few teaching sessions which occur in the Flinders Medical Centre. And in fact, our entire College of Medicine and Public Health is housed in the Flinders Medical Centre. So while we have this beautiful campus at Bedford Park, and we've got some wonderful teaching areas all around, because we're a course that is underpinned with medical topics and biomedical topics, you can come into the Flinders Medical Centre, and so this is also where we have our Doctor of Medicine course and all the courses that well, not all, most of the courses, the undergraduate courses that the college runs. So having said that, why is this important? Well, because when you come into the Flinders Medical Centre, you're going to need to have your ID card, but you're also going to need to QR code because it's a healthcare setting, and make sure you do that at the level 4 entrance area. And you'll also need to have your vaccination status. So being a healthcare setting, that has its own rules, and it means that you need to be double vaxxed with an appointment for your booster. All right, so those types of things need to be sorted before you come to the hospital. Now I've got a question here about attending main campus, and the university has a new vaccination policy, and it's a little bit different to what the healthcare settings are. You can attend campus if you've had your first vaccination with a booking for your second. Okay, so a slightly different, but we can go through all of those questions a bit later on. So just make sure you've got your ID card handy and your vaccination status handy for access to the hospital, the Flinders Medical Centre. Importantly, if you haven't already enrolled in your topics, we suggest you enroll as soon as possible, and that's because some of our topics have a lot of students. So for example, Dr. Harrison's topic, MED 1005, How Your Body Works, has over 300 students, so there's lots of offerings of classes. And so if you have a preferred time that you want to attend class, it's a good thing for you to get in early and make sure that you secure a class timetable that actually works for you and for all the other things that you're doing in your life. Now, for medical science enrolment, it's actually quite straightforward in terms of topics because you don't really have to make any decisions in first semester. All the topics are core and they're chosen for you. So all you need to do is make sure that you actually enroll into them. So it's not an automatic enrolment, it requires you to do something, and that something means going onto the student system and making sure that you enrol yourself in the topic and then register into the class options. Okay, if you have any questions at all about that, Flinders Connect can help you with that. So there is an email where you can submit a support request, or you can phone them too if you prefer that method. Textbooks, I actually have had a few questions about textbooks already, so people are getting really organised. And so the information that you'll need for textbooks for your individual topics will be on the flow site for the topic you're enrolled in. So it will be clear whether it's either a required text, so you must have it for the topic, or recommended, which is we'd like you to have it. And it's not necessary for you to actually go out and buy all of these textbooks that your topic coordinators are recommending. We have an amazing library, and the library is split up into the central library. We also have another library at Flinders Medical Centre, and we have another library at the Sturt campus as well. So you don't necessarily need to buy any books, you can borrow them. You can access e-texts through the Flinders Library portal. And also, if you are looking to purchase because you like flicking through a hard copy, and to be honest, I do too, and I like to highlight and I like to put in little doggy ears on pages and make it my own and carry it with me. It makes me feel like I'm actually doing something. Then you can purchase from retailers like Booktopia that stock the textbooks, or you can do your research and find the best price. And if you're unsure, maybe hold off purchasing textbooks. We're going to have some peer mentors in the breakout rooms later. They've been where you are now, and you can have a chat with them as to whether you might need that textbook, or whether they recommend something else, or they may have a second-hand textbook that you might want to purchase. They can be quite expensive, especially if you've got to buy books for a few different topics. Okay, so that's enough about textbooks. Now, in terms of how do you get here and how do you get around the place, it is a huge campus, and I'm speaking about the people who are coming to campus physically. There are a few different ways actually to get to Flinders, and we encourage you, of course, to use sustainable methods of travel if you can. So we have buses that link our Bedford Park, Sturt and Tonsley campuses together, plus a brand new Flinders Railway, which is just outside the front of the hospital. And that's a really good way to get from here to the CBD if you want to travel to the city. It's a faster journey. Flinders also has a free loop bus that operates on weekdays between 7 and 6, and it links the different campuses. So if you don't really feel like walking up the hill, which is a common thing that you'll hear from the Flinders Medical Centre all the way up to biology or to one of the other buildings in the main central area, you can catch the loop bus. Now, of course, you can use your legs, you can walk, and walking is a great healthy option, a bit of physical exercise, a bit of oxygen moving around the body, but just make sure that you factor in exactly how much time it's going to take for you to get from one place to the other. So our Flinders Medical Science Student Society are going to clue you in on that, and they're going to have a presentation for you to show you some of the tricks that you can use to get down quickly, which includes not getting lost, and so they'll help you with that. So just plan ahead of time if you're going to walk. We've also got the loop bus. There is a section where you can have a look at the loop bus timetable online, and the details are on the screen there for you. Now, moving on to some academic matters here, we have a wide range of university, government and non-government scholarships that are available to domestic students who are commencing study this year. So selection's normally based on academic merit, and you need to demonstrate, or you might need to demonstrate need. So have a look at the different scholarships and what they require. So once you've done all your first jobs, so enrolling into the topic, making sure you've got your ID card, all of that stuff, then you can start looking at scholarships and scholarship groups. And you can do that through the student system as well. But the list of scholarships is available on that website there that you can have a look at. Now, we also are very excited to offer some brand new prizes, and these are all listed on the website that I have up on the screen. So the awards are from our college, the College of Medicine and Public Health, and they recognise student excellence, whether it's academic excellence, research excellence. There's a prize for social accountability and also one for university inclusion and support. So there are some wonderful prizes there to recognise what students are doing, and sometimes that does go unnoticed. We've got an incredibly talented group of people here, and you're all coming here for a common purpose of studying medical science, but there is, you know, some great things that you're doing outside of uni life, and so this is, I guess, where those two worlds come together, and there's an opportunity for us to get to know that perhaps you're doing something that's, you know, recognisable for social accountability that we would never have known unless these new prizes had come in. So please check that out. Now, you won't be able to connect to anything if you don't have good Wi-Fi. So many of us have learnt this over the years. So Cameron Ma is going to come and have a chat to you a bit later. He's from our IDS or IT team, and he's going to give you some tips on how to not get caught out. The university has got a really high-speed Wi-Fi, and it's called EduRoam. Okay, so if you have a look to see what your internet options are for connecting to a Wi-Fi, if it says EduRoam, that's our Flinders network. And so it is really easy, but you will need to know what your FAN is, and you will need to have a password for that. And so Cameron will go through those things with you. And the only time it really gets tricky is when students come down to the Flinders Medical Centre, and it can sometimes get a bit confusing for the Wi-Fi's that we have here. But I'll leave the details to the experts, and Cameron will address that a bit later, and also answer your questions, and he can also help you get set up as well. So lots of different things in that little section. Okay, so what about if you need some help? And so I encourage you all to get to know our learning management system. And so some of you will already be familiar with learning management systems because you would have used them previously. Perhaps you've done another course, perhaps you've used a learning management system in high school. And the one that we have here at Flinders is called Flinders Learning Online, and we abbreviate that to FLOW. So FLOW will be one of your partners throughout your entire degree, and so we encourage you to get to know how to use FLOW and all the different things about it. There is a FLOW module called Finding Your Way at Flinders, and you can actually check that out. Now, of course, there's a wide range of services and support available for you to succeed here at Flinders, whether it's academic or personal support, or help with your study plan or with your finances. And so one of the great strengths that we have here at Flinders is working with students and supporting students with transitioning from whatever background that you're coming from. And we recognise it could be high school, it could be a foundations program, it could be from working life. And so we're here to help you with that transition, and we understand that's very personal, and you'll find that Flinders is one of the universities that has one of the greatest support systems around, and you'll get to know all those different supports as well. So my main message is that there's always someone who can help or direct you to somewhere, or someone who can help you. So I'm just going to take this opportunity to play this video. So just bear with me for a moment, and it's a video that describes some of the ways in which Flinders can support you. Okay, thank you for your patience there. So there were captions there, and I'm sorry that they're a little bit small, but great advice there from Helen and Verinia. If you want to have a look at this later, it is on students.flinders.edu.au support, and it is a really nice video to have a look and see what support services are available. Yeah, I'm sorry you couldn't hear that. The captions were there for as a replacement. But please do have a look at that a bit later. Now, we've got a O-Guide program, and that's designed to help you get settled into life at Flinders. And so if you'd like to connect with a student mentor, then please do that. You can register to participate. And this is a separate mentoring program to the one that we'll talk to you a bit later with Dr. Helen Harrison. Okay, now in terms of safety, our Flinders University is committed to providing a safe and respectful learning environment for all students and staff. And so if you witness or experience any socially unacceptable behaviour or harassment, please make a confidential report, and the details are here on the screen. And of course, you can come and discuss that with me if you'd like to. But they're the main numbers there for you to be able to contact. Now, if there's one thing that I've found really helpful over the years, and I was a student here over 20 years ago as a PhD student in clinical pharmacology, and working late at night on campus, is I had the security number saved on my phone, on my mobile, the 8201 2118. So if there's one thing that I guess I'd take from my own experience, is to pop that number in your mobile phone, just in case it's late at night and you might need to have security drive you to your car in a faraway car park or something like that. Okay, so moving on. Important places at Flinders Medical Centre. So a lot of your topics will be run here from the Flinders Medical Centre, and it's where I'm based at the moment. So my office is here at Flinders on level 5. And as I mentioned earlier, you will need your ID card to come in at the southern entrance. You need to scan your ID card for the security guard to allow you to come in, and you will need to have 2 doses of an approved COVID vaccine with an appointment time for your booster. Okay, and that's just standard information for any healthcare setting here in South Australia. So please ensure that you have your vaccination certificate with you. And now, other areas here at FMC, once you can get into the building, are the College of Medicine and Public Health Student Services, and we have a student services desk just next to the library. So follow your way on through the level 5 corridor all the way to the end, and there are signs to guide you to where the library is. We have lecture theatres. We have a level 4 seminar area, and you'll have a few sessions there for some workshops. So that's somewhere to get to know. And there's also a student common room near the cafeteria, and importantly, yes, we do have a cafeteria. It's on level 4, and Dr. Harrison will talk more about the student common room a bit later. Okay, now some general advice about being at uni is that there's a lot of independent learning, and so next week each of your topic coordinators will deliver an introductory lecture to you, and perhaps some may already have it online for you on Flow, and you'll only be able to access Flow if you've enrolled in the topic. So your topic coordinator should be able to introduce you to the topic, explain how it runs, explain how it's assessed, describe to you what the expectations are through the topic, and in general it's up to you to manage your time, and I encourage you to manage the expectations and assessments. So stay organised and start your assignments early. That's, I guess, good advice for any topic that you're doing. But if you find that you're struggling, please see us early on, either myself or Dr. Harrison, so that we can see if we can provide any academic support for you. So we're getting a little bit more focused now, and here you see the Bachelor of Medical Science course flow page, and so this is available for all students, whether you're Year 1, Year 2 or Year 3 for Bachelor of Medical Science or Year 4 for Laboratory Medicine. You'll be able to access this the entire time. And the reason for that is because it is our only central place where we actually can email out or put announcements out to the entire cohort. And you will find information on there about who your year level coordinators are, and you can see them here on the screen. You can find out information about student opportunities like mentoring and being part of Dr. Harrison's peer mentoring program. That of course is available to you if you move into second year and beyond. There's great employment opportunities in our careers module that is regularly updated by our careers and employability service. There's information about the placement topic, which you'll hear a little bit more about in a few slides time. So it is a single point of contact for us to be able to announce things to all year levels, and so I encourage you to, if you see an announcement or some messages that come through the Bachelor of Medical Science course flow page, that you know it's either from myself or Dr. Harrison and it's to do with the course, so just keep an eye out for that, and maybe be a bit curious about it too, and hop on and have a look at what we have on there already. In fact, our orientation information, including this recording and any leaflets that we have, will be posted onto Flow, onto this course site, so you can access those a bit later on. Okay, so let's get a little bit deeper now and have a look at what our degree looks like. So for this group, the majority of you will be Bachelor of Medical Science students, but we also have Bachelor of Medical Science Laboratory Medicine as our new 4-year specialisation. And so this is a snapshot of what the first year looks like for a lab med student. And these study planners, you'll find them for all the years that of your degree at this website up here, students.flinders.edu, and there's a whole bunch of study plans. You just need to search for Bachelor of Medical Science or Bachelor of Medical Science Laboratory Medicine. And so what you'll see is this is the first level, so your first year, and what topics you'll get in semester 1 and semester 2, and if there's any opportunity for choosing a topic like an option or an elective. So this is for lab med students. And for the majority of you, it's almost identical. So you will be sharing topics. So for the Bachelor of Medical Science students, this is what the year 1 of your 3-year degree looks like. And so, as I mentioned, this study plan as well is available on the study plans webpage. And what we see is that there's a couple of different shadings. We've got yellow boxes and we've got white boxes. The yellow boxes indicate to you what we consider core topics, and those topics are the ones that we consider form the foundation of being a medical scientist, and you must do those. There's no choice in those. So in first year, we've designed the year to give you a good foundation for medical science, and you'll study core topics like biology, chemistry, physiology, and skills for medical scientists. And what you'll see is that you do have a tiny little bit of choice there. You've got an option topic, and you also have an elective topic to choose from. And so you'll need to make those decisions. You don't have to make them right now. You may not even be sure what an option topic is or an elective topic is. Hopefully by the end of this session you might have a little bit more of an idea. But all that's important now is that you have a very simple decision to make, and that is about what type of chemistry you want to do. So you'll see that we've got molecular basis of life, we've got skills for medical scientists 1, how your body works, human physiology and structure, and either Chem 1101 or Chem 1201. So the general guide for this is that if you have not done any chemistry in year 12, then you might like to choose general chemistry. And if you have done chemistry in year 12, then you might like to choose the other one. Okay, so you can also speak to your mentors about this and ask some advice about the type of information that was taught in that topic, and see what you feel most comfortable with. So at this stage, the topics are fairly set. You just need to enroll in them and make a decision about whether you want to do general chemistry or chemical structure and bonding. For the laboratory medicine students, it's slightly different. So I'll just skip back a little bit. The laboratory medicine students will not need to make that choice. You'll do general chemistry and you'll have only one option topic to choose. So option topics and elective topics I'll get to in a moment. So if you have a look on our Bachelor of Medical Science course page, not the flow page, I'm talking now about the web page. So if you do a search Flinders Medical Science, you'll find our student-facing web page. And if you go and have a look at what will I study into the program of study section, you'll notice that there's a year one drop-down menu, a year two drop-down menu, and a year three drop-down menu. And so in the year one drop-down menu, you'll notice that there's a further section for core topics. And so this is where you get to find out information about those yellow shaded topics I showed you earlier, the ones that you must do. And then there's information about option topics. So the option topics are slightly different for the 2 degrees, but you'll notice the exact same setup for the lab med students. And these programs of study are both available separately on the 2 different web pages. So please go and have a look at those if you haven't already. So what happens when you press the drop down box, the option list? Well, you'll get a whole list of topics that we have selected. That's why it's an option topic. We've selected these for you. It's a small group of topics that you can choose from that are relevant for your degree. So it's things like introduction to biochemistry, it's things like legal and ethical aspects of healthcare, nutrition and physical activity, physics, biostatistics, and our very own first year topic, MMed 1007, which is a very popular and much loved topic on histology, the building blocks of the human body. And it's a really nice semester 2 partner to how your body works from semester 1. So what you'll notice is that the drop down menu will give you these options, and then when you go to enroll in your topics, you'll be able to select the one that you feel is one that you'd like to do. And more often than not, we get asked what is one of the topics that we should do if we'd like to get into medicine, or if we'd like to follow something to do with medical studies, and histology, the building blocks of life is a good choice for that. So that's an option, and the terminology is important here, because Bachelor of Medical Science students also get to choose an elective. Now, an elective topic is different. An elective topic is one where you can choose for a topic from the entire university. So it can be anything you want. So if you want to do Spanish or learn French or modern Greek, or you can go and learn how to do something in any of the colleges or the disciplines around the university, this is your opportunity to do it in first year. It just has to be a first year level topic. So you have the freedom to choose. Sometimes that can be a little bit overwhelming for people, and they ask us, what should I choose? And so one of the things that we often say is just give yourself an opportunity to have a look at what else is out there, and you can search for different topics on our Flinders webpage. But some of the popular ones in the past have been academic and professional numeracy, especially for students who haven't studied maths beyond year 11. And they do things like extended number concepts, some algebra, some graphing, and some stats. So numeracy 1001 might be a good choice, and one that we do get some excellent feedback from is the psychology of surviving and thriving, and that's offered in a few different modalities, so it's online or in semester 2, and so you can check those out, or please feel free to choose other year 1 level topics that you would like to pursue. Okay, so this is in fact what our second year study plan looks like. So I have now put all 3 years onto one table so that I can show you where we are in terms of the number of core topics. So we'll recap and just have a look at year 1. We've got skills, molecular basis of life, year chemistry, whichever one you've chosen, and how your body works. Semester 2, you have evolution of biological diversity and some more chemistry. And then the option and elective for Bachelor of Medical Science students, lab med students only get one option. And so this study plan is now only for the Bachelor of Medical Science students. It's a more flexible degree where you get to be the medical scientist that you want to be and follow your interests. topics in year 2, but there's some more decisions to make. And so you need to choose 4 option topics. And so we have a selection of option topics that range from human immunology, infectious diseases, fundamental neurosciences, virology and microbiology. So when you go back to the program of study and you press the drop down list for year 2 option topics, this is what you'll see. So you'll see a lot of topics. This time the prefix will be followed by a number that's 2 for first year topics. More often than not, you'll have like MMED and a 1. These are second year option topics, so you'll see a 2 next to them. Occasionally, there might be a third year level topic that we can also use in second year, like Bio 3761. So take your time and have a look through those and see what follows your interest. Now, moving on down for the Bachelor of Medical Science students, year 3 is an opportunity for you to have a lot of choice. We only have 1 core topic and 7 option topics to select from. So the laboratory medicine students have a fixed study plan, so you won't have any options at that point. Our core topic for year 3 is Skills for Medical Scientists 3, and you can then study in a number of minors like physiology and neuroscience, medical biotech, pharmacology and toxicology, or microbiology, and we've also got a professional placement topic as well. So if you're interested in a professional placement topic at year 3, then you can have a look at that on our course flow page. Now, one of the things that I'll just show you here is what the option topic looks like. So if you press on the option topic for year 3, then you'll get another drop-down list, and this is where all of those minors will come up for you, and you can click on those and see what topics are comprised there. So I guess at this very early stage, this is quite overwhelming that we're going all the way through to year 3, but it's good for you to have some perspective to know where you could be going, and when you're looking at your study planner for all 3 years, if you are really keen on doing some topics in year 3, so for example, you might just have seen the pharmacology and toxicology there and just said, yes, I 100% want to do that minor when I get into year 3. One of the key bits of information is that make sure you backtrack and do the prerequisite topics for those year 3 topics. And so as you move through the degree of complexity of the topics increases, and it requires you to have some background knowledge, and that background knowledge is your year 1 and your year 2 topics. So if you are really keen on one of these minors that we're showing here on the screen here, make sure that you back those topics up with the right prerequisites. So at this point, I'll just mention you're not alone in this. We are here to help. Dr. Harrison, myself, Associate Professor Barry and Dr. Gregory are all coordinators of the degree, and I'll introduce you, we'll show you their pictures a little bit later on, but you'll meet Helen very soon. And so we are here to help with our study plan advice. So if you haven't seen your study plan or you haven't got one together by the end of first year, please come and see us. This is something that all students should be having a look at, getting familiar with, and being really aware of what's available. So think about your year 3 topics, and of course talk to other students as well, and we have the Careers and Employability Service that is there to help you as well. So moving on now to the laboratory medicine students, because they actually have a final year, year 4. And so our laboratory medicine students will do placement in year 4, and it's one of the longest placements that we have at the university, and we're actually very lucky to be able to have these 2 13-week placements, and you get to choose an essay pathology lab to undertake your placement in, and it can be in a metropolitan area or it could be in a regional area, totally up to you. And so the pathology disciplines that 4th year students can choose from are any one of these, so anatomical pathology, chemical pathology, genetics and molecular pathology, or hematology, immunology and microbiology and infectious diseases. So those are the choices that you get to make from, this is for lab med students, you'll make it in 3rd year for a progression into 4th year. Now, just off of now the curriculum items, there are some brand new polo tops. If you are interested in buying one for yourself, they are completely optional, and there are different ones for laboratory medicine and different ones for Bachelor of Medical Science students. You can buy them from Corporate Image, and I've realised that I haven't got the web page on there for you, but it's a Corporate Image. Just if you do a general search, you'll be able to find it, and they're about $45 each. So they are, yeah, as I mentioned, completely optional. Don't feel free to rush out and buy one. I know that there are some people that actually prefer to wear tops like this rather than having to think, what shall I wear to uni the following day. We also, as a college, have some wonderful research opportunities. And these research opportunities come up throughout the 3 years, and I encourage you to keep an eye out for them. They will be on our course flow page or sent through the announcements. And if you do have a keen interest in research, and many of you I know do, that's typically in a cohort of medical science students, there will be a fair few of you that are really taken by research, as I was, and Helen Harrison. We both have research PhDs. We have some incredible international expertise here. So the research programs are fantastic. So we'll do our best to make sure that we can connect you in if you have an interest. So please keep an eye out for these. So there are summer research awards that our college gives support for. We have third year professional placement topic. We also have an honours program, and we have PhDs as well. And so nearly all of the lecturers you will have from our college, say from any of the MDSC or MMED topics, they will take research students. So if you like a particular topic or an area that a lecturer is delivering you some topic material on, please don't be embarrassed or shy to approach them. They are really happy to speak to you and will more than likely have a placement project to offer. And so moving on now, there are some pathway options from our degree. After you complete your degree, you can choose to continue, obviously, into research and do an honours or a PhD. We also have an exclusive subquota for our medical science students for the Doctor of Medicine program that our college offers. And so while there is a broader 70% for Flinders graduates, 25 of those places are dedicated for students of whom are Bachelor of Medical Science students. So that is something that we are known for, and I guess we can help you choose topics that will be related to a future MD program should you choose to apply for that and be successful in that. Now, there's also a pathway option to optometry where you can move into year 2, and so you can speak to us specifically if you are keen on doing that. And there's also opportunities for clinical facing masters such as nutrition and dietetics, speech path and audiology. Those ones there are not a direct entry. It would be something that you would need to go back to SATAC for, but our degree has some subquotas in those master's programs. And of course, in our own new Bachelor of Medical Science Laboratory Medicine, we are taking a few transfers after year 1. And so if you are keen on laboratory medicine, after having a chat to some of the students who are in that degree, or even coming and speaking to myself or Helen Harrison, we can show you how you can do that. Okay, so moving on now, in terms of professional development, we have opportunities to do that. And again, there's information on our course flow page. And we've had a number of our students, including some of the mentors in the group in here today, who will tell you about their experience in facilitating. And so as first year students, you'll be undertaking MDSC 1102, and you'll be you'll have one of the facilitators there, and when you go into year 2 and beyond, you can have the chance of becoming one yourself. Again, with the MedSci peer mentoring program, opportunities from year 2 onwards to be a peer mentor, and Horizon Award as well. Now, this is the first time that you would have heard about the Horizon Award, and we have a presentation from Annalise from Horizon to show you a bit later. And of course, we've got a ton of career opportunities on the careers flow page, on the course flow page under the careers module. One of the things that is achievable early on is to become a topic rep, and that's an achievable leadership opportunity for you starting at year 1. If you would like to become a topic representative for any one of the topics that you are involved in and enrolled in, then please speak to your topic coordinator about it. It is actually a great way to start in a leadership role. And if you also enroll in Horizon Award at the same time, being a topic rep is recognised by the Horizon Award, and you'll get award points for that. We also have our Student Learning and Support Service, the SLSS, and they are an incredible resource, and you should be starting to see how supportive the Flinders University support services are. They have areas like the Learning Lounge, they have ready-to-go study skills and preparation, lots of different areas here. If you have trouble with English, if from a non-English speaking background, they can also help you work through your assessments and the assessment requirements. So please utilise their services, and there's an abundance of online help and in-person help if you're struggling academically. We have our student wellbeing and specialist support as well, and so student wellbeing is something that we take very seriously here at Flinders, and we have excellent supports for student wellbeing. There's information for students through the Health and Wellbeing portal, so please check that out. We have a counselling service which can help students with what we call access plans, and this is for students who may have a circumstance that might affect their success in a topic. So if you feel like you're in the situation, then the counselling team can help. Oasis is a fantastic resource, and they host multiple programs around health, fitness, wellbeing and spirituality, and we will have a handout for them posted on our course flow page for you to access a bit later. But one of the things that they do, which is really nice, is mindfulness skills yoga, so that might be something that you're keen to take up. So what you can start to see here is that yes, we have a really rigorous academic program, but there's lots of things beyond your own education, including your own wellbeing too, that we're here to support. I'm getting to the end of the presentation now, and it's important for me to let you know that we have an incredible resource, the Career Support and Development Team, and what I see these days more than ever is that students do like to work through their degree, and we have a career hub that you can have a look at, and there's an opportunity for you to have a look at what employment is available for you that is relevant to your degree program. So please take a moment to check that out. And FUSA, our important Flinders University Student Association. So if you need any assistance by way of financial aid, support, advice, there is a web page that is fortified with information to support students. So please have a look at that as well. So I've given you so many different resources here. You're going to need the rest of O Week to access them and have a look. But if you need any clarification at all, please come and see me or Helen or one of the year level coordinators. But if you have specific questions about your topic, please see your topic coordinator as your first port of call. And so if that's to do with assignment extension requests, or if you're going to see the counselling team to get an access plan, that might be something that you choose to share with your topic coordinator. That goes to them and not necessarily through myself or Helen. Please see your topic coordinator for any workshop or tutorial related information, for your assessment format. Pretty much everything to do with the topic is for your topic coordinator. And of course, if you want to lead as a topic representative, your topic coordinator will be able to show you how that's done in your topic. Now, if you have any questions about your year level, so whether it's this year, next year, the year after, or beyond, please come and see us. On the BMS course flow page, we have the photo so you can see who we are, and you can see the contact details, phone, email, and also our physical room number if you're going to visit us. And please use these important year level coordinator supports. Now this is how you can contact me, email, and you're obviously welcome to call me, or you can pop by my office just to say hi. So if you've got any questions about your course as a whole, of course you can come to me. And of course, if your year level coordinator isn't available for whatever reason, then you can come to me. But please, if you're having any difficulties, if you're wondering about career choices, if you're wondering about transfers, if you just want to say hi, I'm actually really excited about being here and I just want to physically see some people, then please feel free to drop by. That actually still happens a lot. And our second years and our third years and students who have, applied to medicine and gone through that, drop by and say hello to myself and Helen. And we have a very open policy with being able to help students find their way at uni. So get in touch with us. Okay, so I think that's it from me, and I'm now going to hand over to Dr. Harrison. So I'm going to unshare my screen and I'm going to hand over.
Hi everyone, I hope you can all hear me and see me. I'll just have my screen, my camera on for the moment so you can see what I look like. Obviously Vula had my picture up there before and I've got it on my slides that I'll share with you soon too. I just want to say thank you very much for all the questions that are coming through on the chat. It's great that you're all, I guess, paying attention but also interacting, and it's fantastic to see some other students coming in to help where they can answer some of those questions as well. A few of the questions are a little bit tricky in terms of that they're just more around that enrollment side of things. So it's hard to answer them directly on this. But as I said in the chat, if there are little specific issues that you're having, please flick me an email so I can follow up on them and at least just put you in touch with our course advice or course enrollment people so that we can direct you towards the right kind of services and make sure that you're actually able to enroll in everything that you want to. You could try coming onto campus and seeing if Flinders Connect is open. I know that they initially were planning on not being open, but because the COVID situation settled down somewhat, they might be available, and that's where you can essentially go in and ask for some of this help, and sometimes they can direct you to that and help sort that out fairly quickly. Okay, so I'm going to share some slides too. I know that you've been sitting and listening for quite a while and that's not the most fun thing to do, but hopefully I'll talk through this quickly, and then what we'll do is break out into some breakout rooms and you can have a chat to a mentor and start, I guess, trying to get to know each other a little bit as well and ask some questions, and you can feel free to put on your microphone and your cameras within that session as well, or obviously you can just use the chat if you're not comfortable with doing that. So as Vula has already said and introduced me, my name's Helen Harrison. I've got a few different roles within this degree, so you might be a little bit sick of me towards the end of this first year. So I'm the Deputy Coordinator for the Bachelor of Medical Science. I'm the Year 1 Coordinator. I'm the Peer Mentoring Program Coordinator, and I coordinate MMed 1005, which is how your body works. So as I said, you'll probably be a bit sick of my name and my voice by the end of the year, but hopefully I'll be able to help you out enough. Now my contact details are on this slide here. So I'm also on the level 5 of the Flinders Medical Centre, just down the corridor from the medical library. But if we have arranged to meet and you're coming to my office and you can't find me, you can always ask at the Student Services desk and they can point you in the right direction. It's kind of hidden away, but we'll try and share some maps so that you can find us a little bit more easily. My phone number's there, and obviously email is probably the best way to get in contact with me, because then we can organise a time to meet in person if need be. But as I said, some of those queries that were coming through the chat, if you're not entirely sure of how to enroll and all of those sorts of things, and if we don't address that in these presentations, just feel free to email me and I can hopefully help sort those issues out. Now I'm just going to find how to turn. There we go. Okay, so in terms of my role, well, actually, firstly, what I would like to do is acknowledge that I'm also located today on the lands of the Kaurna people. So I also pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. And I think it's always nice to acknowledge the fact that learning and teaching has occurred on these sites for around 60,000 years. So I think that's why we all find it quite important to acknowledge that. Okay, so role of a first year coordinator. Essentially, I guess if you're having trouble within the course, if you're having trouble understanding how things work, and it's kind of more course related rather than specifically topic related, then I'm a good person to contact to try and help with that. So really it's around supporting you as first year students, so helping you with that transition to university studies and trying to make sure that you have all of the resources and the skills that you need to be able to be successful within this degree and within your first year, and so that you can actually I can help you really achieve your goals within university. So I can give you information around how to access support services and the student services that are available throughout Flinders. Vula's already touched on some of those before, but you can find them also at this website here, so students.flinders.edu.au. A lot of work's been done in the past few years to try and make sure that those websites are a little bit easier to navigate and that you can click on things and easily find the bits and pieces that you're looking for. But every time that new systems come into play, sometimes some of that easy navigation gets lost. So if all else fails, go to Google and Google what you're looking for with Flinders at the end, and that should help you find it. But certainly that's a goal of the university, is to make sure that things are a little bit more navigable, which doesn't sound like a word, but I promise you it actually is a word. So I can also help give you advice around topic choice. So if you've got an idea of the sorts of things that you're interested in and the direction you would like to take this Bachelor of Medical Science degree, then obviously we can have a chat about that and I can help provide some recommendations. And obviously I can also provide some guidance if you're really having difficulties with university life or the course in general too. And a lot of that sometimes is just helping you see which services are available and how you can access those particular services. Or even if you are looking at how do I transfer from the Bachelor of Medical Science into the Bachelor of Medical Science Laboratory Medicine, or through our transfer pathway to the Bachelor of Medical Science Vision Science and Master of Optometry pathway as well. So we can help give you some guidance around that. And obviously a lot of you sound like you're quite interested in looking at medicine as a postgraduate pathway. So again, we can kind of try and help tailor your degree to help best prepare you for that as a potential outcome. I can also provide help when things get a little bit tough. So part of the role of a first year coordinator is to try and reduce what we call attrition. So attrition is where we have students leave the university and leave our degree. Sometimes that happens because of life and because of other different factors that come in, but if it's because there was some help that you needed at university and nobody gave that help to you, then that's a real loss for us and shows that we're not doing our job. So we really want to support you and try and help you stay within this degree and be really successful in this degree, as I've already said. And I also coordinate that BMSI peer mentoring program, which I'm going to talk a fair bit about pretty soon. Just a bit of scholarships information as well. If you're interested in trying to apply for a scholarship, you can go to the scholarships website for Flinders. Again, if you're trying to find that, you can find it through the student system, through financial support and scholarships, or just Google scholarships at Flinders and this website here should come up. When you click on that, then you can kind of start filtering out your situation and what particular scholarships you can apply for. So some are for students with financial hardship, and others are for academic success, and others are for students in particular categories where it's understood that they might need a little bit of extra financial support throughout their university. Vula's already mentioned finding your way at Flinders, but this is essentially what that homepage, when you click on that topic, looks like. It's a really great topic that's been developed in the past couple of years and has been strengthened each year, that's designed to help orientate you towards university life. So it's got even things like the terminology that's used in university and what it all means. Often we make the assumption that you will understand what we mean when we say that this is a lecture or this is a tutorial or this is a workshop and practical. And so that flow site can help you understand what those different terms are, work through all of the different acronyms that again we all use on a regular basis, so assume everybody else knows them. You can always catch us up on that as well. If we're saying a whole heap of acronyms and they're not making sense, please tell us to stop and explain what it actually means. But this website can help with that. And again, just around finding different support services and making sure you're aware that not only are those support services there for if you're struggling, but they're actually there to help you achieve your absolute best at university as well. So accessing the Student Learning Support Service, accessing Oasis, health counselling, disability services, all of those sorts of things can actually help you be the absolute best student, not help you manage through just only when times are tough. So I really encourage you to look through that and be familiar with all of the different things that Flinders has to offer. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about this BMS peer mentoring program. And so it's a little bit different from the OGuide program in that the OGuide program is just first year university students all mixed in together from around the university. Our BMS peer mentoring program is specific to students within the Bachelor of Medical Science. And so that encompasses Bachelor of Medical Science, Bachelor of Medical Science Laboratory Medicine, and if students are interested as well, the Bachelor of Medical Science Vision Science program too. So it's specific to that, which means that your mentor is somebody that's been through one of those programs and has an understanding of the specific needs of that particular program and specific needs of you as a student within that program. So firstly, what I want to do before I go into this is just do a tiny little poll to ask a couple of questions about your experience, I guess, with university, because I think sometimes we can come into university and think that everybody else knows what's going on and we don't know what's going on, and that can feel a little bit isolating. So I'm hoping that this will help you see that you're not alone. So the first question for the poll, and I'm going to put it up here in a minute, is who has been to university before? So I'll start the poll and you should now be able to respond either yes or no to that. I've got a few more responses to come. It's slowing down a little bit. Or Flinders Foundation Studies, I would include that as being at university before. You've had a little bit of an advantage in terms of being familiar with how Flinders works. Okay, I'll show the responses now, but what you can see is that 53 of the students that are here haven't been to university before, 28 have, and then we've had a few that haven't responded yet. But so what you can see is there's loads of people within this course who haven't been to university before, who don't have university experience. So if you're coming in going, oh, am I the only one that hasn't been to university? You're absolutely not. But we can see we actually do have a few other people here who have been to university. And so again, by joining a mentor program, you actually might get some of their experience from their past university studies and how they've managed within that setting too. So we do have a bit of a mix here, but largely most people coming into this degree have not been to university before. And many will come in through high school. Others will come in through different pathways. And yeah, a lot will come in through Flinders Foundation Studies as well, which is a nice little kind of prep course to get you familiar with flow, which is a beast in itself to get familiar with. Okay, so I'm going to clear that one and stop that one. I will ask another question now, and the question is, who knows people who are starting this degree? So essentially what I'm asking is, who's coming into this degree with some friends who are also doing this degree? All right, this one's definitely a little bit more headed towards one direction. So I'll show the responses. So what you can see is that the majority of people are coming in without knowing anybody. And again, the reason why I'm highlighting this is I think that's quite comforting to go, again, you're not the only one if you're coming into this without who doesn't know anybody. Most people are going to be in your position. And I certainly remember feeling as a first year university student that I was the only one that didn't have any friends. And it took me a while to realize that everybody else was in that boat as well, and that they were just kind of made it look like they had friends within the course when they perhaps didn't. So a lot of you don't know anybody coming in here, and hopefully a lot of you are wanting to get to know people as you come in. So hopefully that means that we're kind of setting up this environment where you will be right and ready to make some friends and get to know everybody. All right, I'll stop this one now too. And I have one more question to ask, and that is, who feels that they know everything already and won't have any problems? Typing it in. All right, so we'll start that one. All right, I'll show you the responses for this one. So we have one super confident person in the session today who feels that they know everything and won't have any problems. So they're somebody that you want in your mentoring group, because they hopefully will be able to share all that wisdom and knowledge with you. But again, the majority of people are fairly certain that they perhaps might struggle a little bit, and that they don't know everything, and that there's a lot to learn. So again, the purpose of all of these polls is really just to highlight that you're not alone in your first experiences of university, your first experiences with these courses. And the reason why I highlight all of that is that the mentoring program is really designed to help you overcome all of those different things. So it's designed to help you make friends. It's designed to help you not feel so alone within your university studies, and designed to help you get to know people and get to know how university life works. Okay, so in a minute, I'm going to introduce you to some of the mentors. I've got some photos of them, and some of them are here within this session. And so when we break out into some breakout rooms, I'll put a mentor into each of your groups so that they can start telling you about themselves and start sharing their wisdom with you. But essentially, they're students who have either completed the Bachelor of Medical Science and gone on to research pathways, or gone on to other pathways, or they're students who are in their second or third year of the BMS. Some have transferred across into the laboratory medicine pathway. Some are within the Vision Science Master of Optometry pathway. So there's a number of different, specialties and areas of expertise that the mentors have. And they, as well, there's a couple of them who I know are wanting to get into medicine following university too. So they may have already done the GAMSAT, they've gone through those processes, and will know a lot more about how to apply. So essentially, they come from a variety of different backgrounds. All of them will be able to give you some very tailored advice and tailored support from their own experiences within the program. And so again, the reason why this is so beneficial is that they were where you are now not very long ago. So Dr. Gaganis and I can certainly offer our advice and support, but it was a very long time ago that both of us were at university, so our experiences may no longer be relevant, whereas all of these mentors are either still in it or have just recently been in it. So they're able to provide you with a lot more tailored support in that sense. Yes, as Dr. Gagana says, we used ink. It was very unusual to have somebody with a computer in the lecture. And so I guess they've been through that transition period, and they've garnered huge amounts of wisdom as a result of their experiences, and that they can share that wisdom with you. So I really recommend that you take part in this mentoring program. So the program's really designed to provide new support to new students, assist in that transition, help you understand all these different support services, help you understand some of the different policies and procedures that are around the place, share their academic survival tips, and also to help you build self-confidence and social networks as well. So I know some mentor groups end up just really being friendship groups where everybody sits around and has a chat, and if they need any advice, then they're able to get it because their mentor's there at the same time. So there's really good research that shows that mentoring programs increase the student experience, they increase the success of students within the courses, and they decrease the likelihood that students will leave when things start to get challenging. So we really believe in this program and believe in the strengths that it can offer you. And I can see that we're not the only ones that still use ink. Fantastic. Apple Pen. I'll kind of give you that a little bit, Benjamin. I guess you still have to use your hand to write, so we'll include that. But really this mentoring program, it's a two-pronged approach, because not only do you have your mentor there who can give you advice, but you have a group of students who are also navigating their way through, and they'll work out their own little hacks and their tips and tricks. And so you kind of get advice from a number of different sources, and particularly if that one person who's 100% confidence with their experience at university, as I said, if you're in their group, you're set. They'll be able to share all of that with you. So it helps you really get to know a number of other students and their experience as well, and learn from a number of different people. And the Bachelor of Medical Science, as you'll soon be aware, is quite a large course, but also it goes into large topics where you get mixed up with a lot of other courses. It's really kind of only within the Med Skills workshops where it's primarily Bachelor of Medical Science students, although you will be mixed a little bit with Bachelor of Clinical Science students as well. So sometimes some Bachelor of Medical Science students find it a little bit hard to find other Bachelor of Medical Science students. So the mentoring program is a great way to find other people who are actually doing your degree and going through the same thing that you are. All right. So mentors are really able to provide that support to students because they really understand the life cycle of students, of being a first year student. So they understand those different expectations that are placed on first year students. In particular, just learning how to navigate work, study, life, relationships, all of those sorts of things from a university student perspective, and how to deal with it all in a really sustainable and healthy way. Mentors can also help you work out the acronyms, which I've already talked about before, and help you navigate the various resources and systems like the student system and flow and email and all of those sorts of things. They can also help you out with student etiquette. So what is, how should you email your topic coordinators or your lecturers? You know, how should you conduct yourself in the university setting and all of those sorts of things? Not that there's too many formalities in any of that, but just so I guess you kind of can model behaviours that would be acceptable within a university setting. And as I've already said, they are good at being able to do this because it wasn't all that long ago that they were in your position. And so what you can do is you can take advantage of all their mistakes. They can tell you about all the mistakes they made, and you can learn from them without actually having to make them yourself. So it's really, really helpful. Now, just seeing a question come through, watch the recording of this. We'll put it up on the Flow site so that you'll be able to see it there, and we'll also make sure it's available in the orientation video library as well. So you'll definitely be able to access this afterwards. Okay, so how do you get involved? This year or last year, we changed the program from an opt-in program to an opt-out program. And so what that means is that I will place you in a mentor group and you'll be emailed your mentor details. And so that'll be who your mentor is, the location of the meetings and the time of the meetings. Now, what I've tried to do is place people in mentor groups based on your location around Adelaide. So you'll kind of see there's some southern groups, there's some northern groups, there's northeastern, southwest, all of those sorts of things, eastern, western. And the reason why I've tried to put that based on your home address is not because I'm stalking you all and trying to find out where you all live. It's so that I can so that you can start getting to know people that live in your area, because then it increases the opportunities for carpooling or even catching the bus together or the train together, and increases the likelihood that you might be able to meet up for study groups. Particularly if you live further from the campus, then you can have study groups closer to where you all live. Now, I acknowledge that that some of you, that the time that you're given, it might clash either with your timetable or with work and things like that. But what you can do is change your mentor group if necessary. So what I'm going to put up on Flow is essentially a list of the different mentors. They'll each have a little blurb about themselves, so you can see which mentor might suit you best. And then you can see the different times that they're all available and the locations as well. There is one mentor who's going to be running her sessions fully online. So if online suits you best and you don't want to have to come into campus, then by all means join that particular session. If you'd prefer to come in on campus, then obviously there's some mentors doing that, and some mentors will do a mixture of both. But essentially, if you'd like to take part in the mentoring program, but the mentor or time or location doesn't suit you, let me know and I can change you. So we want to make sure that people who are keen to take part in the mentor program have the opportunity to do so. So what you can do to be involved as well is essentially attend the meetings. So they'll be weekly starting from next week. So you'll get that email with your details of who's your mentor and when that's happening before the end of this week. And so they're weekly from weeks 1 to 6 and then fortnightly after that. Some student groups, some mentor groups and mentors decide to keep that as a weekly thing throughout the whole first semester. Some don't. It's not currently on the Flow page. It's hidden at the moment, but I will make it available very soon. The BMS program, it could be for second year students. So if you're interested in joining it as a second year student, let me know and we can make sure that you're in with a third year or an honours student or a fourth year student, so that you kind of get that extra wisdom rather than another second year student. And this is completely different to the O-Guide groupings as well. It's a specialised program that we run in-house compared to the university-wide O-Guide program. So this is currently hidden, as I said, but soon you'll be able to see it, and it will have and the information about the different program. Here's where there'll be the student register. So you'll actually be able to see the list there of which group you've been put into. And that is also where you can actually unenroll from your group and enroll into another one. But if you're having trouble with that, as I said, email me. I'll put the mentor group timings, the room locations and the mentor blurbs here. And then there's some maps and things available so you can see where those actual rooms are. And yes, you'll receive an email about the program later this week with the details of where and when that's all occurring. And here's some of our lovely mentors. So we've got Marinelle, Bao, Machi, Caitlin, Julia, Adrian, Jacinta, Anushka, Sumbul, and then Najiba and Alina, who haven't sent me their photos yet, so I don't have them up. But there's some photos. We'll make sure that this is on Flow so that you can see who they are, so that when you do have your first meeting, you know who it is that you're coming to meet. And Shayla, that's just going to be on the Bachelor of Medical Science Flow page. So you should already be enrolled in that. Essentially, if you go to Flow and you can do a topic search in the little quick links thing, go Bachelor of Medical Science and you'll see this page and that'll come up. But I can also provide a link for it within the email that tells you who your mentor is as well. Now, the other thing I'll quickly share with you before we have 10 minutes to go to some breakout rooms is the Flinders Medical Centre Student Common Room. So Dr. Garner said before that there is a common room that does have some cooking facilities or kitchen facilities like a microwave and things like that. It does have some couches. That's for all students that within Flinders Medical Centre. So medical students, nursing and health sciences students, our Bachelor of Medical Science students, honours students, any student that wants to use it is welcome to use this particular room. So it's room 4E109, just past the Market Cafe, and the access code to get into that room is 9014. I'm pretty sure it hasn't changed. So again, if you want to use that, these slides will be up on the Flow site so that you can quickly see it, but it's got the bright yellow door there, and you're welcome to use that space whenever you need to. Okay, so what we're going to do today, now, sorry, just answering questions. Are all of our classes located in that building? Not all of them. So certainly for MMed 1005, so that's how your body works, and Med Skills, all of those classes are going to be held in Flinders Medical Centre. For biology and chemistry and some of your electives and things, so biology and chemistry are way up the hill on the other side of the lake. You'll get fit walking between them all, that's for sure. They're up there in the biology building and chemistry building. Your topic coordinators hopefully should give you some direction on where those particular classes are, but certainly for those, as I said, med skills and how your body works, they're in the medical centre. And again, we're going to have some videos and things, so you'll see how to get into there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is go into some breakout rooms. I'm going to put you into groups of about 8 to 10, and then a mentor and a student, or another student, a more senior student, somebody who's been there and done that, I'll put them into the group with you, and they can start telling you a bit about themselves and some tips and tricks for starting university, and you can start getting to know them, but also start chatting amongst your group as well. So I've got here, if you're comfortable turning on your camera and microphone, amazing, that'd be fantastic. To do that, you essentially just click on this little symbol and click on that little symbol. But if you'd really prefer not to because your bedroom's a mess, or you haven't done your hair, or you're still in your pajamas, then you don't have to. You can just use the chat function. And so using the chat function, if you click on these little arrows, you'll see this box come up, and you can use the chat there, which I can see that a lot of you seem to have worked that out already. Okay. Again, just looking at the chat, when you have classes back to back, yes, so there's about a 10-minute window between classes. Most classes will finish 10 to the hour. Some will go over. Most of the time people will understand if you've been way up the hill and you've had to race back down. So yeah, it'd be pretty rough if they didn't understand that. But what I would recommend is, if you can, try and have a little break between them so that you can have a drink and not have to rush between them. Okay. So I'm going to put you into breakout rooms, which essentially what that means is you'll go into another Collaborate session with a few students. We've actually only got about 7 minutes now until 12:30. So what I'll do is, essentially at 12:30, I'll bring you all back, so you won't get much warning for that. And we'll put a mentor in with each of you so you can start having some conversations. As I said, please start getting to know each other, ask the mentor questions. They can start talking a bit about their own experience and give you some tips and tricks for getting started as well. Okay, so I will do that now.
Okay, hopefully you can hear me okay, and I'm going to just say that I did jump into a couple of those rooms and the chat was getting great, and I did overhear that Fumes might be hosting a bit of a chat a bit later on, so I think David and Jason might announce that a bit later. Hopefully I haven't got that wrong, Fumes president and co-president there. So if there is a chat that's happening a bit later, just pop that in the chat there so that while people are still on, they can have that in mind to connect with you guys later. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen for one moment so we can check back with our agenda and see how we're going with everything. So we're just here at presenter 1, and we've got the Health Counselling and Disability Services presentation, which is a pre-recorded presentation by Gareth Ferber. So I will just need a moment here and I'll pop that on for you. It's got some brilliant information in there that spans the breadth of the service that they provide. So just bear with me for one moment.
Welcome. My name's Gareth. I'm a psychologist with Health Counselling and Disability Services here at Flinders. And essentially what I would like to do is take you on a quick tour of what we do. So, Health Counselling and Disability Services is actually 12 services rolled into one, but they can be organised into kind of 6 main groupings. So we've got the medical services in blue, we've got specialist advice and support services in green, got self-development and in self-improvement services in that kind of browny colour, crisis care in orange, community building in yellow, and staff and course support in blue. Now my hope is that by the end of this presentation you've got a better idea of what each of these services are and can identify which, if any, you might utilise during your time here at Flinders. So let's kick off with the medical ones first. So we've got a fully equipped bulk billed GP practice that's on the Bedford Park campus. Doctors and nurses providing all types of standard medical care, including immunisations. It's a booking-based service, so you ring 8201 2118 to make an appointment. Appointments have traditionally been face-to-face, but with all the changes arising out of COVID, we now have capacity to do telehealth as well. And what this means is that if you've seen a doctor face-to-face previously in the last 12 months, you will now be able to access telehealth appointments as well. So this really opens up an opportunity for those of you who are not necessarily regularly on the Bedford Park campus to still maybe make this your regular GP practice. Now, the GP practice is co-located with an essay pathology collection site that runs 3 mornings per week. It's a place to get blood tests done or to drop off samples. At the time of recording, so this is the end of January 2022, this service is actually unfortunately closed until further notice, but we're confident that it will be reopening as COVID restrictions are lessened. We look forward to letting you know when it has reopened. So those are the 2 medical services. The second set of services are really focused on giving you someone to talk to about problems or challenges that are impairing your university experience. Now, your first port of call in this process would be our intake team, sometimes called the Judy team. So the Judy team is made up of counsellors and disability advisors. And during business hours from 9 till 5, essentially, they take all the emails, drop-ins and call-ins from students who are seeking help, who aren't necessarily requesting a GP appointment. So essentially, if you're contacting us in relation to anything other than really booking a GP appointment or an immunisation appointment, this is the team that you will probably speak to first, typically on the same day as you call, if not the following day. Now, sometimes that team can solve the issue on the spot, or at least get started with the solution. Sometimes they will refer you to another Flinders service, like VUSA or International Student Services. Sometimes they may refer you to an external service, but often they'll actually book you in to see someone from one of the following teams. So it might be the counselling team. The counselling team is made up of social workers and psychologists. They help students identify and solve academic and personal problems. They utilise what we call a short-term solution focus model. So they really focus on assessing what the issue is, working with you to problem solve it, and then finding where the next and most appropriate supports for you can be found. Now, again, like with GPs, it's traditionally been face-to-face, but the shift to we can shift to telehealth now when needed or required. So this means that you don't necessarily need to be on the Bedford Park campus in order to access counselling sessions, if you're comfortable with having them over the telephone or via services like Skype or Microsoft Teams or Zoom. Now, if you're an Indigenous student, you might get referred directly to the Yungarendi student counsellors, either Matt or Vanessa. These are counsellors who sit within the team who work within a culturally focused model of care. And as per counselling, the sessions can be either face-to-face or telehealth, depending on your circumstances and what's happening with COVID at the time. Indigenous students are also able to connect directly to the Indigenous counsellors directly via the email that you see on the screen. Now, for students who have a mental or a physical health condition that impacts on their study, intake may make a referral to the disability advisor team. Disability advisors, or we call them DAs, help students understand what adjustments are possible based on their health condition and the rules of their course. And then these adjustments are captured in what we call an access plan. Now, DAs also provide ongoing support and advocacy and information and links to programs and resources that students with disability can access. Now, in relation to the disability service, sometimes students have medical conditions or mental health conditions that do have implications for their study, but they don't identify as actually having a disability. Now, we encourage those students to still make contact with the team, as there may be some resources or adjustments that are possible. Now, this does differ by degree in college, so I can't give kind of a blanket recommendation about what you should do, but it's definitely worth having a chat with the disability advisor team if, like I said, you have some kind of mental or physical health condition that does impact on your capacity to study. And then finally, within this specialist advice and support group, we have our student equal opportunity and sexual violence counsellor. So this is a dedicated counsellor who assists students in the resolution of complaints that are related to bullying, discrimination, sexual assault, sexual harassment, and victimisation from either other students or staff. They can provide information, they can provide counselling support, and they can provide options. Now, you might come to an appointment to this person via the intake team, but you're also able to contact them directly via the student EO address that you see on your screen. There's also a couple of links there that relate to other activities that that particular person is conducting around the university, as well as some policy and guidelines from Flinders on how it handles reports of sexual assault and sexual harassment. All right, so the third set of kind of programs or services that we offer are really focused on helping you take charge of your own self-development and self-improvement. So these include digital wellbeing information. So we've got a number of digital channels through which we distribute articles and news on looking after yourself and performing your best as a student. We run workshops throughout the year, face-to-face and online, on a range of different wellbeing topics, from tackling procrastination through to yoga and developing a personalized mental health and wellbeing plan. And we also maintain a self-help library, so a library of written resources, worksheets, and workbooks that cover a similar range of wellbeing and mental health topics as those covered in the programs. So fourth is our after-hours crisis support. So essentially, during business hours, you ring through to the main team, through the intake team, through that 8201 2118 number. But we're also very We're also very mindful that out of hours and on weekends and on public holidays can be other times where people experience crises, can become emotionally distressed, or experience an exacerbation of mental health issues. If that's the case, we have our out of hours crisis line that you can contact in two different ways. So you can either call it to speak to someone directly, or text it if you want to conduct a text chat. The fifth area that we focus on in terms of our programs is building community. So this is about giving students opportunities to connect and build their networks. The bulk of this happens through Oasis. So Oasis is a community centre that's on campus that focuses on community diversity, faith, spirituality, and wellbeing. They run a whole lot of cool programs and events, including the Flinders Market. They're home of things like the Student Wellbeing Ambassador Program and opportunities for volunteering. So it's not just getting involved with programs as a participant. You can get involved with some of these programs as a volunteer or deliver the programs. Now, if you're not on the Bedford Park campus, that is okay. Oasis has been and continues to work on building communities within Flow via that Flow topic that you'll see there, but also on social media via Facebook and Instagram. But it's worth noting that it's common for the physical centre to get closed whenever there are significant COVID restrictions, but the digital channels remain open at all times. And finally, we do offer services to staff. So if you're a student, this might be not quite as relevant to you, but might do if you become a tutor or something down the track. But for staff, we offer responding to student in distress training via the Professional Development Unit. Myself and other staff from Health Counselling and Disability can come out and talk to your student cohort about different topics like mental health, self-care, and high performance. We can work with staff to embed wellbeing related content into curriculum, and we do already and can do provide some customized self-care materials depending on the topic. So we've done some specific stuff already in relation to PhD students, as well as dietetics and physiotherapy students. So I hope that has been informative. I do realize that it is a lot of information to take in. With that in mind, you will find a copy of the slides bundled with the video itself. I'll also bundle in our services brochure at the same time. Now, if you want to stay connected with what it is we do, what I would recommend is scanning the QR code that you see on screen. It'll take you to a sign up form. You just need to put your name, you can put your first name and your email, preferably your Flinders email. And then once a week, you'll get articles and news items for us that will allow you to stay on top of what are the services and programs and resources that we provide. So we'll tell you when programs are running and how to RSVP them, and we'll distribute new self-help resources as they come through. And then if you've got any questions, feel free to actually contact me. So gareth.further@flinders.edu.au. Ask me any questions you have about the services that we offer, and I should be able to point you in the right direction. So look, thank you very much for your time and attention. I hope that gave you a quick tour of what we do at Health Counselling and Disability Services. Otherwise, take care, everyone.
Okay. So thanks to Gareth for providing that presentation. So what we'll do now is we will check back with our agenda, and we have, just share that screen for you. And we're very happy to have in person with us Cameron Ma from our IDS team to give you some insight into what you need to do for EduRoam and tips and hints for that. So Cameron, are you here with us?
Yep, here to go, Vola.
Great, so go ahead and you can share what you need to there.
Okay. Is that sharing now? Yep.
Yes, it is, yep.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name's Cameron Mara. I work for IDS here at Flinders University. I lead up the Flinders Networks team. We look after the network infrastructure at Flinders, and I just want to do a quick presentation on the Wi-Fi at Flinders. It's a service that everyone needs at some time or another. First of all, we have a number of networks, wireless networks at Flinders, but the default one we use for all staff and students is EduRoam. It's a network. Once you're connected to it, you should be able to connect to it from anywhere in the world. It's used at over 12,000 locations around the world. The majority of Australian universities, research institutes like the CSIRO and such, a lot of hospitals and schools use EduRoam. So once you're connected at Flinders University, you can then roam to all these other locations that have EduRoam and automatically connect and get yourself some free Wi-Fi at those places as well. In regards to Flinders University, we have EduRoam at all of our campuses. Here at Bedford Park, at Victoria Square, we have a campus. Over at Tonsley, a couple of sites in Noarlunga, as well as our remote locations throughout South Australia and the Northern Territory. We have EduRoam deployed there. So as I said, once you're connected to EduRoam here on campus, it'll work at all these locations as well. Now, to connect to EduRoam, the way that is recommended by the university is if you have a device that has existing mobile data through 4G or something like that, the best way to connect is go to a website called join.flinders.edu.au. You then enter your username is your fan@flinders.edu.au and your password, and then just follow the on-screen prompts. What that will do will automatically set up EduRoam with the correct settings, the correct digital certificate, and everything else required, and EduRoam will be good to go. The really important thing to remember is your username has to be in that format of your fan with the @flinders.edu.au afterwards. If you don't put that @flinders.edu.au afterwards, that roam into other institutions won't work. When you go to Adelaide Uni or a different university, you won't connect to EduRoam. So you need to make sure you put your username in that format. If your device you have is a laptop or something that doesn't have mobile data, you can just go to the EduRoam wireless network. You can see from the list of wireless networks available. Click to join it and enter your username and password like before and follow the prompts. You may need to then accept things like a digital certificate or have settings changed, but that should get you by and get you connected. Although we do recommend going to the join.flinders.edu.au way to connect first, as that will get it all set up correctly. Lastly, if you do have any problems or issues or concerns or need help with it, there's a self-help webpage at the URL is studentsflinders.edu.au/Wi-Fi. It has all information, a lot of information I've given today, plus a little bit more. And if you're on campus and still having trouble to connect, the best location to go is Flinders Connect in the Central Library on level 0, and they'll be able to advise and have a look at your device and find the best way for you to connect to Eduroam there. And that was my presentation. So thanks for listening, and good luck at Flinders.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Cameron, for giving us your presentation there. And I know that with first year students, one of the things that is difficult is coming down to Flinders Medical Centre and having your the network switch and having some issues connecting. And so we really want to give our students the best opportunity to just be able to connect in with their topics straight away and not have the IT issues. So thanks for that. And as Cameron mentioned, if you've got any issues, then please make sure that you connect in with those people who can help you in Flinders Connect. Okay, Cameron, I might just ask if you can stop sharing your screen there. Thank you. And does anyone have any questions at all while we've got Cameron still here? I didn't see any in the chat, but yeah, please connect in if you do. Now up next, we have our Flinders University. Actually, we do. Tiana's got a question. Tiana, did you want to pop your microphone on and you can ask the question while Cameron's still in the Collaborate room with us? No, that wasn't a question. Yes?
It's not really a question for Cameron, but it's okay.
Okay, no worries. That's okay. All good. So we've got our Flinders University Medical Science Society President and Co-President Jason Arsenius and David Conlon. First of all, congratulations to both of you for being elected to the Flinders University Medical Science Society executive there, and I'd like to welcome them in and come and share your screen so the students can come and hear all about the wonderful things that the Student Society is here to do this year.
Thank you, Vola. I'll just share my screen and hopefully it's okay. I'll do this one. Share. Then that.
Yep.
Let me know if you can see the PowerPoint.
We can. It's in presenter view. Did you want to? Yeah, perfect. All good.
Easy. Alrighty. Hey everyone. I hope you're enjoying the orientation so far. Welcome to the Flinders University community. Today we're here to talk to you about the Flinders University Medical Science Society, or FUMS.
Okay, so hey everyone, my name is David, and I'll just briefly be talking through our goals here at FUMS and what we do. So yeah, just touching on the surface, our committee aims to create camaraderie and unity among all the students within the medical science degree. We have a number of roles here at FUMS, and first and foremost, we are the link between the students in our degree and the academic staff. So essentially what this means is that we're always looking for ways to improve the student experience by giving student feedback directly to the academics. We also organise a whole load of fun and beneficial events throughout the year, which we'll be discussing in just a moment. And perhaps most importantly, we provide a means for you to go out and make friends with your peers. I cannot state the importance of having good friends at uni who you can look to for sport and have a good time with. Even being a traditionally independent learner myself, I can say for sure that without my friends, I would not have started first year. So yeah, definitely go out and make some friends.
Alrighty, so this is me. I'm Jason. I'm the president of FUMS for 2022. I encourage you to take a photo of my email so that you can ask me any questions. I'm always more than happy to help.
Yep, hello everyone. So this is me, David. As you can see, I'm the vice president of FUMS for 2022. So yeah, important, but not quite as important as Jason, unfortunately. So yeah, if you're ever looking for me, I basically live in the health sciences building, so come say hi if you get the chance.
As you can see, we have a decent sized team who are all available to help you throughout your degree. Hopefully you've also noticed that the first year representative position has not been filled. This is because we strongly encourage a first year to fill this position. Not only will the first year representative be a part of the FUMES team, but they'll also gain a deeper understanding of how the degree works and have a chance to ensure themselves and others get the full university experience. To apply for this position, reach out to us on one of our social media pages, which you can see in the bottom right of the light blue text box. Again, we strongly believe that this is a very beneficial position to the person that is in it.
Right, here at FUMES, we love to have a good time. And yeah, we have some fun events lined up throughout the year for you guys. The first event we have planned is a welcome function. This is usually a barbecue, but yeah, we'll see how it goes with COVID. Next up, we have a fun little social night where you can get together with your peers, and this is actually going to be your best chance to go ahead and make some friends. I actually met Jason, the president, at this event last year, so yeah, there's a fun little fact for you. We have also got a pub crawl planned later in the year. This is usually one of the more popular events, and yeah, without getting myself into too much trouble, I certainly had a lot of fun at this event last year. And last but not least, we have the MedSci Ball. This is, I suppose, just your typical ball where you can dress up nice and fancy, enjoy food, hang out with friends. We don't know where this is being held just yet, but last year's ball was held at the Adelaide Town Hall, just to give you some idea of where it could be held this year.
Although we really push the social aspects of uni with all of our events, we're also here to help you on an individual basis. We provide you with study tips and tricks from our personal experiences. We relay any and all feedback about the degree to academic staff. We're here to make you feel at home within the university. We're here to escalate any of your concerns, because if you're having issues, it is very likely that others are too. And finally, we want to give you the best university experience. As you've seen, we hold events that promote socialization between students, and we can put you in contact with people that have experience in this degree.
So FUMES has a number of social media pages on Instagram and Facebook, which you can reach by scanning these QR codes. I'll actually give you a moment just to scan those QR codes if you wish. If not, then you can see the name of our socials just above the QR codes. Yeah, so we usually just use these pages to announce events, merchandise, or promote opportunities for students to receive academic support. So yeah, go chuck us a follow to stay up to date with what's happening this year.
Usually, if this was in person, the entire committee would be at the back of the seminar room waiting for the orientation presentations to end so that we can interact with you and allow us to ask us any questions. This year, because of this online orientation, we're going to be holding a live Q&A on our Instagram straight after this orientation day finishes. So we strongly encourage you to come through and say hi or ask us any questions about the degree, the university, or for advice or study tips. We'd love to see your name in the chat.
Right, so FUMES likes to bring out new merchandise each year, and yeah, here's a little sneak peek at what we are planning on releasing this year. A nice simple hoodie, which obviously says the degree of medical science on it. I think it's nice, so does Jason, but of course we'll leave it up to you to form your own opinions. Either way, we'd love to see you representing the degree. We will be having try-ons at some point in the early stages of semester one, once everything is finalized, and then you can choose to purchase one if you'd like. We also have FUMES memberships available for $5, which gives you a cool little discount on merch and events throughout the year. It's definitely worth becoming a member, so I'd recommend buying a membership as soon as you can.
Thank you for tuning into our presentation. We wish you all the best for this year, and we hope you are excited to come to our events and take part in the full university experience. Remember, we have the first year representative position available, and we strongly suggest you put your name down to this position. Finally, remember we're holding a live Q&A session on our Instagram as soon as orientation day ends, and we would love for you to be there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much to Jason and to David. That was a very great presentation there, and I encourage every single medical science student to join up. It's a $5 membership from what I heard there, help raise money for the society to contribute to the wonderful events that they put together. And it is really something worth emphasising, that uni isn't just about the education that we're going to be providing you, but it's going to be filled with so many memories, making friends and connecting with the student societies. So please go ahead and do that. Some wonderful initiatives there, and thank you for your presentation, guys. If I can just ask a favour, are you able to please type, now I'm not up with the terminology, but the Instagram whatever it is, a hashtag or whatever the students need to get onto your Instagram chat later, onto our chat here and Collaborate, so they can actually see that. And I'll be able to post those lecture or the PowerPoint slides onto our Bachelor of Medical Science course flow page a bit later once David and Jason supply those. Okay, so I think we're doing pretty good for time. Thank you to Helen for catching us up a little bit there. So where are we at the moment? So we are going to meet Angelina, who is the first president for this year. So I'd like to welcome Angelina and ask her to share her slides or share her video if there aren't any slides. Over to you, Angelina.
Sure, thank you so much, Bula, and I definitely agree. It's so important to get involved in all of the societies, because I think that's what you're going to find is going to get you by. You know, studying is one thing, but being a well-rounded person and a good researcher and a good whatever you want to be is really important. So I'm Angelina. Thanks for the introduction, Bula. I'm the president this year of the Flinders University Rural Health Society. So I will be sharing a presentation. I'll just share my screen right now. Just 1 second. Can you see my screen currently?
Yes, all good. If you could just expand that, then I think
Yes.
you're good to go.
Here we go. So yeah, FIRS, or the Flinders, it stands for the Flinders University Rural Health Society. So a little bit about me. I did clinical science, which overlaps with a lot of the medical science topics, and I really enjoyed it. I did first and second year, and now I'm currently in MD1. And my roles in FIRS were in clinical science. I was junior secretary in first year, I was secretary in second year, and now this year I'm the president. So I think it's a really good way to be involved continually with a lot of people. So FIRS is a government-funded student-run club. It's multidisciplinary, and that's one of the advantages of FIRS. It's really special in that way that it incorporates medicine students, nursing students, allied health students. And what we aim to do is we aim to provide a voice for students who are interested in improving health outcomes for rural and remote Australians, as well as promote and encourage rural health career options. And we do this through a variety of advocacy ways. So we partner with the National Rural Health Student Council, as well as the Royal Flying Doctors Workforce and the Rural Doctors Workforce of South Australia. And we run heaps of events and heaps of seminars to really show you what it's like to be a rural doctor, if that's somewhere you want to go, or to research and get rural exposure. And I think even if you don't aim to work rurally, it's still a really nice thing to see how communities work, and especially when it comes to research, when it comes to looking at people with different social determinants of health. It's really important to be exposed to different parts of Australia that are so close to us. We are one of the 3 South Australian University Rural Health Clubs. So we have events with Adelaide Uni, their club Aura, and University of South Australia Rooster. And that's a really, really good opportunity to meet people. We're also supported by rural placement coordinators at the Flinders University Rural Health South Australia. So what we do throughout the year is we host a number of events. We host the Welcome Barbecue, which, you know, this year with COVID, it looks a bit different, but we endeavour to continue to do events in person where we can. Or alternatives that are still engaging online. We have rural high school visits, so that's something that's really important to us. We go to rural towns in South Australia, and we get to go on trips as a group of us and really show them what it's like as a rural what it's like to come to the city to study. And also we do things like upskilling. We look at emergency medicine, what to do in the first 5 minutes of an emergency. We do skills like plastering. We really big on cultural awareness with the Indigenous culture. We do Indigenous visits as well and celebrate Close Gap Day. And there are many opportunities also with the Royal Flying Doctor Service to even go on one of their flights. So we really, really do have a lot. We also have a lot of merch that hopefully we would love to give out at stores, but throughout the year as we go on, we might do something so we can give you everything and like flyers and our event plan. And we also have a camp This was run last year in the Riverland, and it's where we took about 50 students to the Riverland at a campsite, and it was just a nice weekend away to do a little bit of upskilling and a little bit of bonding. So why you should join us is because we have a lot of educational opportunities for all healthcare students. So we offer practical skills, we increase your knowledge by networking with students across year levels, and you'll see as a medical scientist, you'll be working with people from all different disciplines. We're really big on skill development and teamwork, event management and leadership, and this comes into place when we have a lot of positions available for the medical science students, such as discipline reps, as well as various other coordinators, which we will be advertising soon in a call out in March. We attend councils that are locally held and interstate held, and we have, as I've said before, many opportunities to visit rural locations and meet amazing people and a lot of free food. So how you can get involved with FERS is basically we have monthly meetings. These are open to everyone. We provide them catered, but also we're having our AGM in March. So there'll be more information on that. But that's where we do our elections for the committee, and we would really love to see a lot of med-sci students, and generally we have had a lot of interest from med-sci students in the committee and also as part of the club. To sign up for the club, there's a QR code there on the bottom left. That is a sign-up link and takes you to a website where you can fill out your details. I'll send these slides to Bull and maybe she can distribute them later, but it's free membership. And also please like our Facebook page so you can find out about committee call-outs, all the events, and contact me if you have any questions or concerns.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that, Angelina. It's a wonderful background and good to see you again this year. And congratulations on the presidency for the society. Well done. And so I encourage students to have a look at the society information. We will be posting as much information as we can on the BMS course flow site. I guess the first thing for commencing students is to actually find the BMS course flow site, and Dr. Harrison has very helpfully put the webpage link in the chat there. So while you're sitting or stretching or getting a coffee, click on that website and you'll be able to see that information popping up for you. We're updating it live as we go. Okay, any questions for Angelina specifically while we've still got her with us?
And I've just got one more thing to mention.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you have to be from a rural background at all. I personally was not from a rural background. It's really, and it doesn't mean you have to work in a rural place later on. It's really just about getting yourself exposure, networking, attending all these events, and doing something different while you can.
Excellent. You're doing great work, Angelina.
Thank you.
I can't see any at the moment, but if they do come up, I think what Helen and I will do is we'll go back through the chat and we'll have a look if there's any questions, and if there's any for you, we'll pass them on. But we'll attempt to answer as many questions as we can, possibly in an FAQ on the course flow page a bit later, because there's been some unanswered questions. Okay, thanks, Angelina. I'm just going to now I'm becoming a bit of an expert at sharing this very single slide here, my agenda, and we'll now introduce you to Himali, who's one of the co-presidents for the HHRG group. And Himali, if you're online at the moment, you're welcome to join us.
Hi, Vula. I'm just having trouble sharing my video. It's not letting me for some reason.
Do you have a link to the video?
Oh no, like I meant like my webcam. But it's okay. I'll just see if I can just share the PowerPoint.
Yeah, maybe if you share the PowerPoint, then hopefully that'll help us get started.
Okay.
Okay, I can see that, Himali. Thank you. You're good to go.
Oh, okay, brilliant. So, hi everyone, I'm Himali and I'm the sponsorship officer for the Flinders University Health and Human Rights Group, otherwise known as HHRG. So I jumped on board with, ooh, is it still working?
Yes, it is, Somali. We can see that. No trouble. I think we've skipped over to the areas of interest here at the moment.
Okay. So I jumped on board with HHRG because they were doing things I really cared about and felt very passionate towards. So just a little bit about who we are. We're a society that basically looks at how we can interact with social issues from a health perspective. We have a number of portfolios. So we have global and refugee health, mental and sexual health, environmental health, and newly added disability health. We hold a couple of big events during the year and quite a few small ones. So this is a snapshot of our committee for 2022. We're all quite passionate about equity and equality. We're quite a lively bunch, and we would love for you to join our junior committee. And I think it's a really good way for you to get involved with uni social life as well as develop a few extra skills on the side. I encourage you all to join, to go and like our HHRG Facebook page and our Instagram page. And to keep an eye out for those openings, and of course to like follow our wonderful content that we'll post. So the biggest event that we hold for the year is called Heat Night. It stands for Health Equity Action Together. This is a fundraising activity event which showcases talent, and everyone's welcome to participate. And it is seen as one of the key events on the social calendar, especially with the MD cohorts. So if you're looking to get into medicine, it will be a really good event for you to come along and to make a few friends. For Environmental Week, we generally dedicate each day to a particular factor in our day, which can help the environment. And because of Corona, we organize little excursions, but because of Corona, we haven't been able to do that. But here you can see a photo of a day we did a beach cleanup at Hallock Cove. And last year we had a little movement where we called for action against climate change. And that was pretty fun because everyone, okay. Sorry, my keyboard's really touchy. Yeah, so it was a fun time. Everyone came in to keep photos, and we got quite a few small following on Instagram. For Indigenous health, we advocate by following the National Aboriginals and Islanders Day Commerce Committee Week. We have elders come in and impart their knowledge and talk to us about the current challenges they face. We also have a dedicated healing garden where we planted Indigenous plants that have a medicinal value as well as culinary use. We also dedicate a week from Environmental Week to focus on how climate change affects the health of Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islanders. For mental health and for mental health advocacy, we did our own little push-up challenge, and we had posted quite a few tips on how to maintain your well-being in addition to holding a little workshop. For sexual health, we had a fun little dress your best challenge to encourage people to stand in solidarity with the LGBTQIA+ community, as well as you can see, we all dressed up as like a rainbow. And we also have inclusive practice night and a red party, which is to advocate for HIV and AIDS. For Disability Night, we had speakers we generally have a little workshop where guest speakers come in and speak to us about the challenges that people with disability face recently. And this is a new addition to our society, so it's quite a new topic. But last year we had a polio survivor, a neurodiversity and disability policy advocate, as well as a social worker, and come in and talk to us. That was quite interesting as well. And another thing that we do in conjunction with the Adelaide Uni is called a global health, and it's a global health short course where we invite doctors who also like work as humanitarians come and talk to us about pressing global health issues that are currently taking place. Another thing that HHRG does is called the Flinders Global Action Project. This is more focused on the MDs, as this is a way for them to volunteer overseas, and if you do it with HHRG, it gets subsidized. But we collectively, as a group, hold an event called the FGAP Quiz Night, which is to raise funds for them, as you can see in the photo. Yeah, and it's a really interesting group. Like, we cover quite a lot of portfolios. I think if you would like to get involved, it'll be quite fun. Also, if I encourage you to join us on Instagram and Facebook, and if you scan the QR code here, you can sign up for our little group. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Himali. That is very important work and very wide-ranging advocacy there too. The Health and Human Rights Group, and if you're interested, get in touch with Himali or use those Instagram, the QR codes that were shown, and we'll pop those up. Himali, if you wouldn't mind sending me your slides, we'll pop those up on the Bachelor of Medical Science course site for students to have a look at in their own time as well. Wonderful. So, are there any questions for Himali from the group? And once again, I can't see any at the moment, but if there are any, we'll forward them to you. Thanks for joining us, Himali. Okay, so last but not least, we have a pre-recorded presentation from Annalise, who's from the Horizon Award. And I must say that there are students who are in third year who haven't been aware of our, thanks Himali, no problem, who haven't been aware of the Horizon program. And so I can't recommend this enough in terms of the fact that it is a almost like a micro-credentialing professional development for students as they're going through. So things like facilitation or things like there's actually so many that I can't list them off the top of my head. There's so many different areas that Horizon actually award points for, but you can go up the ladder and Annalise will actually go through all of that for you. So by the time you finish your degree, you'll actually have a whole lot of micro-credentials in a range of different areas. So I'll just make sure that I'm sharing with audio, so just one moment. Okay.
Hello, my name is Annalise and I'm a Horizon Award Officer. On behalf of the Flinders and Careers Employability team, I'd like to welcome you to Flinders University in 2022. The Flinders Careers and Employability Service are here to assist you in your career and your future. Career development is a lifelong learning process of managing learning, work, your personal life and transitions. You might be a career starter, a career changer, or a career developer. Wherever you are in your journey, you can find assistance with careers and employability. You can access careers and employability services online via Career Hub. You automatically have access to Career Hub via your Okta dashboard. Just enter your FAN and password and you're ready to go. Career Hub has a multitude of career-related resources and events to help you transition from student to graduate. Career Hub really is your one-stop shop for career assistance. You can search for job vacancies and narrow the search by filtering for part-time, full-time, casual, or graduate jobs. And then to assist you with your job application, you can download templates on resumes and cover letters. Or you can find work experience while you're studying to boost your industry understanding and get hands-on experience. If you're interested in graduate programs, you can come to Career Hub for application assistance. Career Hub also have a range of events. You can have a look at the Job Hack Workshop series and the Professional Development Award activities that are listed on the site. So you can find out about the Horizon Award by clicking on the Horizon Award tab in the Career Hub menu. And lastly, if you can't find what you're looking for, just ask a question. We're always happy to help. In the General Resources section of Career Hub, you can find tips on networking, interviews, and your LinkedIn profile. There are templates for resumes and cover letters, as well as advice on how to address selection criteria. But if you're looking for something a little less general, then we've got you covered. There's also a section for degree-specific career materials. This includes employment opportunities and ideas, potential organisations of interest, professional associations, and even university organisations relating to your degree. You can also book a one-on-one chat with a career development consultant, such as Margaret Alexander, the consultant for medicine and public health. Flinders Careers and Employability also have a collaborative program with the University Specialist Employment and Partnership, which prepares and connects tertiary students with disability to employment relevant to their degree. Our friendly USEP career consultant and disability advisor, Sasha Lemon-Spence, supports final year students or recent graduates with disability, injury, or a medical condition. Bookings can be made on Career Hub. One of the other things that the Careers and Employability Service offer is the Horizon Professional Development Award. So what is the award? Well, it's a student services and amenities fee funded program that is designed to prepare and support students in developing a career-long relationship with professional development. There are 4 award levels: bronze, which receives a digital badge, and then silver, gold, and platinum, which receive a certificate and recognition at an award ceremony. There is also the option to complete the leadership specialisation on top of your award. There is a lot of value in participating in the Horizon Award. The program helps students to develop a professional identity and growth mindset, as well as building on employability skills, experiences, and confidence in the professional workplace. Throughout the award, you will learn how to articulate and demonstrate your professional value, which will assist you in adding your professional development activities to your resume, your LinkedIn profile, and to job applications. It will also help you to talk about your experiences and your value with employers and industry. There are 4 key categories of experience: professional learning and skill development, industry connection and involvement, university connection and involvement, and real-world experiences. You can read about the different activities in each of the categories in the Horizon Award Points Matrix, which you can find on the main page of the Horizon Flow or under the Horizon Award tab on Career Hub. Each person's professional development journey can look different, and that's why the Horizon Award allows students to tailor their own approach while encouraging breadth and depth of professional development activities and experiences. So to get started, simply enroll in the Horizon Flow topic. Links to the topic can be found at Career Hub under the Horizon Award tab, or by searching for the Horizon Award on the Flinders University website, or by simply typing flinders.edu.au/Horizon. Then complete the online module, Getting Started in Horizon, which will give you an understanding of what to expect and how to plan your professional development journey. Next, explore the activity pages on the Flow topic and find out what you're interested in. This year, we have 11 new Horizon Award workshops. Starting from week 2, there will be a new workshop each week. All workshops are online via Collaborate on the Horizon Flow page and can be booked in the Events tab of Career Hub. The Job Hacks workshop series consists of a range of 1-hour workshops that help prepare you for job applications, such as resume building, interview tips, marketing skills, and more. Alternatively, if you're looking for PD at your own pace, you might want to consider online courses. Online courses can be short to medium in length and can complement your studies. Professional associations often have free or subsidised membership fees. Joining is a great way to build your network, meet peers, and get access to industry events. Joining a student club is also a great way to meet other students, get involved at university. Many clubs also host a wide array of events, not just social ones. There's also professional development activities. You might also be interested in working with your college and being a topic or course representative. Lastly, by volunteering, you could volunteer at a hospital and get real hands-on experience. For example, at FMC, you can volunteer in a number of ways, such as in hospitality, customer service, or even in the gift shop. You can get more info on hospital and related volunteering on the MPH specific resources page on Career Hub. So get in touch with us today. You can email us, find us on LinkedIn or Instagram, or just explore Career Hub or the Horizon Flow page. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. You can find us on Level 2 in the Commons Central Library. We hope to see you soon.
Okay, and you're back with me, and we thank Annalise for her supplying the pre-recorded presentation and introducing Horizon and the Career Hubs to us. So strongly recommend the Careers Hub. And I'd like to thank all the students who have stuck with us over these past couple of hours or so. And we are actually staying true to time, finishing at 1:30 miraculously. Thanks to everyone who contributed today. Helen and I are here on level 5 at Flinders Medical Centre. First point of contact is via email, and we're happy to meet with anybody for a chat. So please enjoy the rest of O Week, and I will post as much as I've got available today this afternoon on the Bachelor of Medical Science course flow page, and then as more information comes through, I'll post it up for you to access before you get started. Helen, did you have anything to mention just before we sign off and say goodbye?
I don't think so. I think I just wanted to also say thanks very much for sticking with us. It's a much longer process sitting online watching a computer, I think, than if you were live in person with us. We do normally, during orientation, offer our students some free pizza. So you normally get a free feed. So we're sorry that we're not able to offer that this time around. But hopefully COVID restrictions permitting, perhaps we'll be able to have an event sometime later in the semester, because it would be great to meet you all in person and I guess kind of welcome you a little bit more fully. Did anybody have any questions that they wanted to ask before we finish up? I think so. So the campus tours are run generally, I think, through FUSA. So if you look at that orientation planner, I'm pretty sure you can book into campus tours through that. We'll also make sure that during that first mentor meeting that the mentors can take you on a little bit of a tour if that's something that the group wants to do as well. So there should be plenty of opportunities to be able to do that. And I'd be surprised if there's not more next week as well, not just this week. Other than that, I think that's all I have to say, Voula, but thank you very much, everyone, and thank you as well to the mentors that have come along today and jumped into those groups. I'm sorry it wasn't very long for you all to be able to chat with each other, but hopefully you'll be able to have some more opportunities to do so very soon.
Yeah, thank you. The Flinders University Medical Science Students Society will be hosting their Instagram, I think, now with Jason and David. So feel free to join them for a chat, I guess, that hasn't got academics listening over. You may have some other questions. Thank you for contributing and for engaging with us through the chat function. That's been very nice and interactive. And I second a big thank you to the Peer Mentor Program mentors who've joined us and stayed for the longevity of the orientation this year. So signing off now, thanks to everybody. We'll try and get an FAQ sheet addressing some of the questions that were on the chat that didn't get answered, and keep an eye on the course flow page. Thanks everybody. We'll see you soon on campus.